Who's doing that?
You can't equip items while in combat.
But yes.
But you can make a macro to equip them, so you can do one button push to switch sets.
There's a built-in set switcher.
That's true, you don't even need a macro, you just drag it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can switch weapons, but only weapons. Maybe offhand. So I'm not sure. I don't think you can, but might be wrong.
By the way, Twitch clip from Skype explaining the best graphic settings for doing it.
Oh, that looks useful, thanks.
Hey.
Hey, Ollie.
Also,
Yes.
run those two commands and it stops the snow.
Bobby, if you've got the standard ones for battle, it's okay. But the ones I linked on Discord have some really good ones, especially for Avalanche.
Oh, we're doing Ventus.
We are going to use Vantas, yeah,
Ooh.
because we haven't used it on anything else. So it'd be a good idea if we do.
Jaina, beware.
So tonight, I'd quite like to work on getting through phase one more consistently, and getting some work done on the intermission, because we saw it last raid and we panicked. Whereas this raid, we're going to have groups 1 and 3 go left, 2 and 4 go right, and all the interrupts happen.
Shall put the Ventus back?
Yeah, I was just
I already
thinking that.
did.
Somebody
No, you
three.
took them out again.
No, I've already put them back.
That's what I do. Split them up, guys.
Yeah, I didn't know how to do that. I guess I shift drag into my bag, right? Because I couldn't shift click onto the thing.
We are one Vantas short, I think.
I
Well,
used mine personal, so no problem.
okay. But as soon as Boozy logs on, he can make some more. Don't forget to donate to the Guild Bank to make the Vantas runes.
Did everyone see the graphic settings for this? It's fairly useful. I think.
Could you send it again, please?
I can just tell you if you want.
Yeah, sure.
Just go graphics.
Yeah.
Set it to 1.
Yeah.
Graphic
Project-
quality.
Yeah, projected textures enabled.
Yeah.
View distance 3.
Stunning stone going up.
And then change
Yeah.
particle density to fair.
Yeah.
Advanced and change your contrast to like 70, 80, depending on what looks best.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
figure with that. And then you can disable the snow with the commands I put in the chat earlier.
Could you relink that again, please? Sorry.
They're in Discord as well.
Thank you.
Just add it back when you're done. Just change it to 1. Well, yeah.
Oh, this looks weird.
Summoning.
I quite like having 155 frames per second.
No, they're just decent.
Right. Once we're done summoning, let's get cauldron and food down and let's get going. Okay, groups 1 and 2 take 2 flasks. Groups 3 and 4 only take 1, please. the water thingy.
I think the avalanche.
Okay, there'll be markers down, so if you get the purple marker, you run on the purple side. If you get the orange marker, you run the orange side. So that should be nice and easy. Right, I will ready check and then let's get going.
So there's one there.
Yeah.
Anybody have event? Talent thing? Tome.
Yeah.
Trade ranking. Thank you.
Oh, my shift isn't working.
You don't need it.
I do. It's just,
No.
it's just my bags. I think it's fine. My shift is actually working as a modifier. Someone gave you one.
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
That's fine. It wasn't me.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll switch those interrupts around. I was hoping when boots are sorted, interrupts would be done too. So, remember to switch to the ballistas when it's one we need to use. Remember to watch the timer on frozen so you can run through fire or get near to people. And we're just going to get some more face time on this. Purple is currently left. Yes, it's where the purple marker is. And then there's a warlock portal to get back to the clump.
Alright, let's see if we can get faced a few times again.
Remember which group you are for the intermissions in case we get there.
Yeah, I'll call it when we get there as well, and hopefully it'll be okay. But let's see how it goes. When we talk about left and right, it's from the position we stand in before we pull the boss. So currently purple is left and orange is right. That way we have a fixed term, and it's clear for everyone. Let's also make sure those stuns happen, so when we get the ads coming down, if we stun them, it stops them dropping the barrels and it makes life easier for priests.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
Third left.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
You will be washed away.
Freezing Blast.
I'm on. Wait.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blood. Freezing
Let's
Blast.
see the ballista is a prime target, guys.
Shots now. I
Ring
will
of ice.
freeze you where you
Get
stand.
out. Then in fire.
Go and break that one.
Howling winds.
I will freeze you where
Avalanche.
you stand. Washed away.
Boat
Frozen
right.
siege.
Man, I need to
Freezing
get back
blast.
to the sword.
We've got 3 in melee dead, so yeah. Probably that one off. Alright, let's fight, because we are going to get frozen very soon otherwise.
Freezing blast.
Oh, safe once I got rest. It's just
I hope you
we were
don't
slowly
mind
getting back
the
up.
cold. Beware.
No, we didn't
Beware.
have a res for me, that's why I didn't get res.
Yes. Sorry, Maggot. I think you had your orange marker, so remember where we need to move to. And generally, yeah.
Can you put a square on Sangor for just for reference? So we
Yeah,
have a.
he's meant to do that himself, I'll sort it.
You're reading my mind, base.
Aren't you guys the cutest?
Yeah, for some reason the new Weekor update has removed all my Weekor. Or at least the ones with raiding. It's brilliant.
No, I said you were gay.
I also think it's worth everyone making sure that everyone knows to set up
It
on
really
these
is.
early pools, like how they like move them around and shit, so that they work for you.
Yeah, because I put the important ones where I'm more likely to be looking at eye level, and that really helps. But I'm sure people have various preferences.
Five, four, three, two, one.
For the Alliance!
Frozen siege.
Ballista?
Freezing blast.
Enemy vessel off the
Boat
starboard
right.
side. Man the guns. I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche?
the cold.
Set charge. Freezing blast. Frozen siege. Freezing blood.
The tide moves against you.
Freezing blast.
Use that res.
I
Ring
will
of ice.
freeze
Set
you
charge.
where you
Get out,
stand.
then fire.
Searing pitch. Howling wind. Searing pitch.
I hope you don't mind. the
Avalanche?
cold.
Freezing blood. Chilling touch. Freezing blood. Frozen siege. Freezing
Yeah,
blast.
that avalanche
Freezing
was
blood.
very poorly placed.
Okay, let's fight.
The tide moves against you.
Chilling touch. Freezing blast.
Beware. Beware. Of me.
Yeah, frontal cone, we will call if it's out of position, but that doesn't give you long to react, so if you keep an eye on her, that will help. Sometimes she chooses to do it in a direction away from tanks.
Yeah, it's if it gets queued at an avalanche,
Yeah.
then it will be towards you. Usually.
Although we've tested that, remember, and I can take the avalanche on the yellow side of her and she'll still shoot at range sometimes.
Yeah, no, I think it's to do with when she cues it, where you are when she cues it, which may be even earlier, like
Possibly,
because of
yeah.
the way spell queuing works.
Yeah.
We had some barrels go up. Well, one really.
Okay. Did I miss the cauldron because of a nap?
You did, but I specifically said that if you weren't group 1 and 2 to only take one, so there should have been one left for you.
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
Only.
Did the fridge also get one? Great.
It's cool.
Well, we will when Twi's ready. Still waiting on him saying ready.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The tide rises.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Boat right.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Freezing blast.
The deck is rigged to explode.
Searing pitch.
Bombs are in place.
Set charge. Frozen siege. Searing pitch. Freezing blood. Searing pitch. Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you
Yeah, then in fire.
Chilling touch. Chilling touch. Howling winds.
I will
Searing
freeze
pitch.
you where you stand.
Avalanche.
Freezing blood.
Boat left.
Chilling touch. Freezing blood. Searing pitch.
You need to move
Frozen
me if I
siege.
need to move her. Right, then.
How many salvos of the fire are we getting? Because we're supposed to get one.
Freezing blast.
We're getting two.
The final one on that first boat did
Set
take
charge.
quite a while to go off, so it might be that that's why.
Can we just assign one person to each barricade?
Beware.
To one each ballista?
We
Rather than-
can. The guide that I've been looking at suggested 2 can do it because that way you've then got more people for DPS. But yeah, we can do 3.
I don't know.
I will take the bike one for sure because I can disengage, but
Yeah, from what I saw, you can assign on the back one and then, you know, moving forward, so you just need 3. So you
Yeah, we
avoid
can- we
people
can
getting
do
first
3.
and...
Yeah, we can do 3.
But in any case, what is it? Is it 7 or 10 yards to avoid
10.
getting stacks at the first part? 10, okay. I don't know, do we have a stunts assigned for the MCs at the moment, or is it random?
Sang was assigned, but if you want anyone else, then someone needs to sort the assignments. I don't know how frequent his is.
What is it, Shadow Fury or what?
Yep.
You can use what's it called? Hysteria.
Yeah, the
or
Shadow
what's it
Priest one is good too.
Yeah. Is that the psychic?
Psychic something or other.
Yeah,
called? Not hysteria. That.
that works also. Never mind. Well, I can also stun one.
You are very good priest, Ollie. Very good priest.
you want to suck some more dick or what?
Yes, please, sir.
I'm choosing this fucking raid over prepping a court case, so you go fuck yourself.
Oh,
Hang
where
on,
did
can
they
you
catch
stick
you?
those stuns in, please?
Yeah, because I'm obviously not the council, dickhead.
Okay, we have more stuns in AA, we have more ballistas in AA. Let's try that, see if that works better.
There's a weaker for the reload as well, so it tells you when the one you fired reloads.
Oh,
because you
great.
need 5. Yeah, it's in that thing I looked. So yeah, keep an eye on that one if you're the one assigned, so you know when to fire again.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The sea answers my call.
Frozen Siege.
Ballista.
Freezing Blast.
Go left.
I will freeze you where you
Avalanche.
stand.
Freezing Blast. Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
They belong to the sharks now.
Yeah, let's move right for the next one.
Ring of Ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Searing Pitch. Howling Wind. Searing Pitch.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Freezing Blood. Freezing Blood. Freezing Touch. Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
Ranged.
Chilling Touch.
Enemy vessel off the starboard side. Man the guns.
Come with me so I can move her.
Time Warp. Freezing Blast. Set Charge. Frozen Siege.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Freezing Blast.
Range dodge.
Ring of Ice.
Freeze you where you stand.
Get out, then in fire. Wipe it.
You will be washed away.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast. Howling Winds.
Enemy vessel off our port side. Give them a taste of our cannons.
I'm so fucking irritated.
There's a repair bot down. Make sure you repair.
I don't know if you saw, but I was leaped past my ice block, so I wasn't in the ice block. I was like
Okay.
20 feet away from my ice block.
Yeah, that ice bus, I'm calling it, but you need to, as soon as I say range dodge, you need to be out of there. So if you can sort of look ranged, it will be a lot quicker if you'd react.
Yeah, it's also hard to see which way it's kind of facing straight away. So
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm calling it as soon as I can see it.
Exactly, which is slightly late, which is hard. So people just need to be aware of it, to be honest.
Yeah, they do. It's like Mecha Talk. Make sure you know which way she's facing. If you know she's facing away from you, you're fine.
I also need to stop going out so early on of lunch.
Yeah, you get a little bit of time. And we need to not have avalanche hit the range.
Did you say there was the pebble out?
Yeah, it's an auto hammer.
It's a
next to the
hammer.
portal. Let's go to your portal at the back.
Yeah.
Get them nice gold repairs in.
They're not switched on though.
Fucking hell.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Freezing blast.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
The tide moves against you.
Frozen siege. Freezing
Alyssa.
blast. Chilling touch.
Can we use that res?
Enemy vessel off our port
Boat
side.
left.
Pause.
Give them a taste of our cannon.
Freezing blast. Freezing blood. Ring of ice.
Leave you where you
Get out,
stand.
then in fire.
There is no.
It's
no.
about
Chilling
fire.
touch. Frozen siege. Set charge. Freezing blood.
You don't mind.
Avalanche.
Freezing blood. Chilling touch. Freezing
Searing
blood. Pitch. Freezing
Searing
blood. Pitch.
Okay, let's wipe. 2 men dead.
You will be washed away.
Freezing blast.
Yeah, that was unfortunate timing with
Set
not having any
charge.
fire available, and then it coming in just after. We've got a weak aura that puts a big thing on your screen saying who has which mark, if that helps. Squibs, I think you came up with it. Is it the Mark's group one?
This game, that one.
Oh yeah, I don't have it anymore.
Raid Mark icon, okay. Prize linked one.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Avalanche. Boat left.
Searing touch. Freezing blast.
Frozen in the back.
You break him out.
Frozen siege.
Ballista first.
No. Boat's priority. That just needs to be cleaved.
Nothing left but ash and splinter.
Freezing blood.
Okay, let's
Searing pitch.
switch to the other
Freezing
side
blast.
for the next one.
Searing pitch. Ring of ice.
Get out. Then in fire.
Searing howling winds. Searing pitch.
Avalanche. Boat right.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast. Chilling touch.
Use the rest.
Searing pitch. Time warp.
Okay, boat's gone. We'll move after the next frontal.
Make sure you douse the second list on the left.
Oh, you want
Frozen siege.
you want us to do that?
You don't mind.
We're gonna avalanche.
The tide moves against you.
Ring of ice.
Get out, then in the fire.
Searing pitch. Searing pitch.
Boat left.
Freezing blast. Howling winds.
Let's get her a bit closer. to
Freezing
water and
blood.
break him out.
Frozen siege. Howling winds. Freezing searing touch.
List.
I will
Yeah.
freeze you where
Avalanche.
you stand.
Then we switch sides after.
Freezing blast. Chilling touch.
Range dodge. And then let's wipe.
Frozen siege. Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you stand. You will be washed away.
Beware, beware of me.
Five, four, three, two, one.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Boat right. Get that one out quick. Avalanche.
Freezing blast. Searing pitch. Set charge. Frozen siege.
Okay, let's move to the left, ready for the next fight.
Freezing blast. Searing touch. Freezing blood. Searing pitch.
They are sunk. Nothing left but ash and splinters.
Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you
Get out, get in fire.
Searing pitch. Howling wind. Frozen siege. Searing pitch.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
enemy vessel. Up
Freezing
on
blood.
Give them a taste of our cannons.
You will be
I
washed
think we're all
away.
frozen in melee, wipe it.
Freezing blast. Chilling touch. Set charge. Searing pitch.
Bombs are in place!
Set charge. Frozen siege.
Beware of me.
If you can't hit her during that, Sangor can move the clump a little bit forwards. We are somewhat limited by how easy she is to move because she is very stubborn.
Well, I tend to move forward, but then I see people not moving, and I need to go backward, I guess. So.
Remember, Sangor is the stack point. Move with him, please. Yeah, exactly, Morg. Then if he moves, people don't follow, then they're the problem, and we'll fix it. But there's no point having a marker if the marker isn't in the right place. Boozy, can you make some Vantus runes, please?
Oh, we have the time again. Yes, sure.
Yeah. it's
Yes,
Thursday.
please.
I'll try and remind you on a Tuesday to make them, because you can probably just set them going during the break on a Tuesday.
Yeah, sorry, it's just me being senile again.
That's okay. I'll remind you on a Tuesday.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Ballista.
Enemy vessel off
Boat
the
right.
starboard side. Man the guns.
I hope you don't mind
Avalanche.
the cold.
Ah.
Freezing blast.
The deck is rigged to explode!
Frozen siege. Chilling touch. Searing pitch.
Okay, boat gone. Let's go outside.
Ballista.
Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Get out, then fire.
Searing pitch. Howling
I
winds.
hope you don't mind the cold.
Freezing blast. Frozen siege.
The tide moves against you.
Rest up, please.
Freezing blast. Chilling touch.
Boat left.
Time War. Freezing Blast.
I hope
Freezing
you don't
Blood.
mind the
Avalanche.
cold.
Freezing Blood.
Nothing left but
Freezing Blood. Ring of Ice.
leave you where you
Get out,
stand.
then fire.
All the way to the back.
Frozen Siege.
Enemy vessel off the starboard
Freezing
side.
Blast. Howling Winds.
Guns.
Howling Winds. Chilling Touch.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Set Charge. Chilling Touch. Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast. Searing Pitch.
Hope the continents can swim better than they say.
Searing Pitch.
Get out, then fire.
Searing Pitch. Searing Pitch. Searing Freezing Pitch. Blood. Searing Pitch.
So let's move other side, ready for boat.
Cold Tyran colors.
Boat left.
Freezing Blast.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
65 the percentage.
Okay, make sure your stacks are clear.
Searing Pitch. Frozen Siege. Howling
Make
Winds.
sure stacks are
Chilling
clear.
Touch. Freezing
Don't be
Blood.
under her when she
Freezing
transitions.
Blast. Searing Pitch.
Range
Freezing
dodge.
Blood. Searing Pitch. Howling Winds.
Okay, clump.
It's the
Don't keep hitting her, but you have to clump or you get frozen in the cinematic.
Impossible.
As such.
So
I
it's going
lured
to be
you
a
into
white,
open
but
waters,
remember you
because
don't run
out
off
here,
without people.
you
You
have
do
no
not use
hope
speed
of
boosts,
escape.
otherwise you get people frozen. So let's wipe it.
If we ever get a situation where there's no fire close to the ring, can we have just a master spell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we just stack on the edge of the ring and
It
get enough?
takes 4 master spells, I think, to clear everyone, but we've got 3, so we can at least get most people, and then we can single dispel the rest.
Yeah.
Beware.
I know it was messy as fuck though.
We did get the transition, so remember transition, don't be under her or you'll gain stacks. We stack where we get off the boat, and then we move together. It's so important we move together, because then we don't get frozen. If you speed boost, you're going to kill people.
More likely themselves, to be honest.
Uzi, you got some yet?
No, I don't have any mail.
Okay, minute behind on DPS isn't ideal. We can do it at 3 minutes, then we can avoid more mechanics and therefore more deaths. Yeah, we should only have assigned people doing the ballistas, because otherwise it messes with the weak aura and it takes DPS off the boss. People, I know you're trying to help, but stick to the assignments.
Why do I have a pink line that goes to Jaina?
That's the weak aura. So yeah, so with the first frozen ballista, yeah, I'm calling it, but it doesn't have to be broken out as a priority unless we have the boat on that side. It's something that Cleave and Dots will do a perfectly good job on it. Only time you need to break them down quickly is when we have a boat that we need to use the ballistas on that side.
Boozy is on it.
Yeah, almost there, almost there. I've made about 20 now.
Great, thank you.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The tide rises.
Frozen siege.
Dot the ballista.
I'm factoring in that.
Freezing blast.
Fine, you can have this
Give
with
them
it.
a taste of our hammer.
Boat left.
I hope you don't mind. the
Avalanche.
Freezing blast. Frozen siege.
Lista.
It's not urgent. Just stop it.
Freezing blood.
Okay, let's switch sides. Ready for the next one?
Freezing blood. Freezing blast.
Get up.
Take it as soon as you can.
Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Chilling searing pitch. Searing pitch. Howling winds.
I will freeze you where
Avalanche.
you stand.
Freezing blast. Chilling pitch.
Boat right.
Frozen siege. Time warp. Freezing blast. Chilling touch. Searing pitch. Charge.
Your boat's gone. Let's move left. Avalanche.
Freezing blast.
Those two bombs, right?
Ring of ice.
Yeah.
Freezing blood. Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Frozen siege.
It's always a tank and 2 DPS or healer and DPS. It's 3. That's why we have a tank area, an orange, and a purple side. And there should be vantage screens now. So if you don't have one, grab one out the guild bank.
Boozy.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I did grab a lot of herbs from the cauldron mats, so hopefully Ayumu isn't going to be too.
It influences
We
which one she
potions.
freezes. She freezes the closest one.
Because the first one's random, but other than that, we have it on the side that's not being used, so dots are more than enough to get rid of it. There's a guild bank up just behind us. If you can't get it out, then I'll grab one for you.
You should be able to.
So,
That's right.
Armin, if you need to use a bit of common sense. So ideally, you should be able to cross over without putting it through the clump, because everyone's going to be tightly clumped on Sangor. So you can just go around the side. You've got a bit of time to get there. If it's really going to be impossible, then just go somewhere to make it safe. But you should get enough warning that you can cross over. Also, if you're tightly clumped, then there shouldn't be anyone in a bad spot anyway. centered is good, but we can bait the ballistas. Oh, not the ballistas. The bombard a bit, so it's away from the ballistas. But it shouldn't really be too far to the side. It's more if we're using the left-hand ones, if we maybe stand like a couple of yards side. We absolutely can use the glacial to clear if we need it. All you have to do is yell to the frontal cone, and we'll put it through the roof.
The other thing is the bombard's person targeted, right? So if
Pretty
the
much.
stack
You
is
can bait
if
it.
the stack is really tight, then
Then it shouldn't be all over the place. Yeah, you just be able to sidestep
So
it.
I don't know how
But it
spread the
is.
stack is. I'm not really looking.
It should be pretty tightly stacked, but it is okay. So bombard's not going to be perfect, but
No.
we can kind of bait it.
But think sea swells.
Yeah, so it's not.
It's not
yeah,
quite as
level
easy,
stack.
but
Yeah,
you.
level of stack. Yeah, but and then we can move it around.
I don't. If you're not tight, be tight. That's all.
It got removed. Get over it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen siege.
Stop the ballista.
Freezing blast.
Boat left.
I will freeze you where you
Avalanche.
stand.
Freezing blast.
They're in place.
Frozen siege.
They are soft. Nothing left but ash and splinters.
Okay, let's switch to the other side.
Freezing blast.
You don't mind.
Avalanche.
Freezing blood.
I
Howling
will
of
freeze
ice.
you where
Get
you
out
stand.
and fire.
No fire.
Chilling touch.
Okay.
Frozen siege.
Enemy vessel off the starboard
Boat
side.
right.
Man the gods.
Time warp. Freezing blast. Freezing blast. Searing pitch. Set charge.
I hope you
Good
don't
bombs down.
mind.
Avalanche.
Chilling touch.
Washed away.
Very always going to need to reach.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Do that.
Let's just wipe it.
The tide.
Ring of ice.
Beware of me.
Yeah, let's try to avoid dropping avalanches on bombs if we can help it.
Gonna put Jeeves up.
Everyone repair?
Yeah. All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The tide rises.
Frozen siege.
Stop the ballista.
Freezing blast.
Boat right.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Freezing blast. Set charge. Frozen siege. Searing pitch. Freezing blood. Searing pitch. Freezing blast.
It's a bomb, we're not.
Freezing blood.
Still need one more hit of that boat, I think.
Ring device.
Wipe it.
Freezing blood.
So I'm watching the
Frozen
number
siege.
of
Howling
ballista
winds.
hits still needed
Howling winds.
to do the side move. So as soon as we do all 5, we'll be able to switch sides and be ready for the next one. Okay, we have people assigned to bombs, but if there's one next to you, just pick it up. It saves the wipe. Currently it's Ollie and Refrigerator on MCs, but we can change that.
No, it's been Morg at the moment.
Okay, can you switch it in the AA then?
Think light?
Yeah, phase 1 at least.
Oh, let's see.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The tide rises.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
I will freeze you where you stand.
Freezing blast. Frozen siege. Freezing blood.
Okay, let's move her right.
Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Get out, get on fire.
Howling wind. Searing touch.
Avalanche. Careful with positioning.
Freezing blood. Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Titan siege.
Enemy vessel off the
Boat
starboard
right.
side. Man the gods.
Chilling touch.
Use that res?
Freezing blast.
He's out of range. Not sure where he is.
Searing pitch.
Let's look at both.
Searing pitch. Set charge. Frozen siege. Freezing blood.
Okay, we would try it off that one.
Bomb in the back.
Searing pitch. Ring of ice.
Get out, get in fire.
Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Freezing blood.
Let's
Freezing
wipe,
blast.
too many dead.
Yeah.
Freezing blood. Searing pitch. Howling winds. Chilling touch.
Enemy vessel off our port side. Give them a taste of our cannons.
Freezing blast.
Beware. Beware of me.
Yeah, we did have a barrel go off. Right, I think with you another cauldron. Grab your flasks.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The sea answers my call.
Frozen siege.
Enemy vessel off the starboard side.
Freezing blast.
Man the guns.
I will freeze you
Avalanche.
where you stand.
Freezing blast. Frozen siege. Freezing blood. Searing pitch.
Okay, it's gone. Let's switch
Freezing
sides.
blast.
Their vessel is bound for the deep.
Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Howling searing pitch.
I hope you don't mind
Avalanche.
the cold.
Chilling touch. Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Frozen siege. Time warp.
Off our port side. Give them a
Both
taste
left.
of our cannons.
Use that res.
Chilling touch. Searing pitch. Freezing blast. Searing pitch. Frozen siege.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold shots now. You are washed away.
Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Freezing Searing blood. Pitch.
Now they move with me.
Enemy vessel off
Howling frozen siege.
Get that
Freezing
siege down
blast.
quick.
Freezing blood.
I will freeze you.
Avalanche.
Chilling freezing touch. Blast. Frozen siege.
fine shot. Their vessel is bound for the deep.
Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Searing pitch. Searing pitch.
64. Keep
Set
an eye out.
charge.
Remember to clear stacks. Boat left. We should be transitioning before
Freezing
that
pitch.
so you can ignore. Get to the stack point.
You have nowhere left to run.
Okay, so 1 and 3 will take the left ones, 2 and 4 will take the right. Don't speed boost ahead of the group. You need to move with the slowest.
2 frozen.
Freezing blood.
I lured
Yeah,
you
you
into
already
open
jumped and
waters,
did look, so
because
nothing
out
can do.
here
We would
you have no
Freezing
If you're
blood.
frozen, then you've failed. You have to not be frozen during that bit.
Freezing blood. Freezing blood.
Not enough left.
There's left group.
Chilling touch. Chilling touch. Icebound image.
Okay, so remember, at 60%, you move away from her and you need to make sure that you're stacked where we're going to move, because if you're not in the clump on the intermission, the cinematic, then you're going to get ice blocked. We're limited by how we can move her, sorry, because we have to work around fire and we have to work around how challenging she is to move. So we'll reposition her as much as we can, but bear with us. If we reposition her to the best spots, chances are frontal cones are going to go through the ranged.
Take flasks if you can. Cauldron still up.
I'm even going to put a green marker down there for a stack point, so we actually have everyone go to the same place. Yeah, it should just be stuns on the ads.
Five, four, three,
Out.
2, 1.
Frozen siege.
Got the ballista.
Freezing blast.
Give them a taste of our cannon.
Boat left.
I will freeze you where you
Avalanche.
stand.
Freezing blast. Searing pitch. Set charge. Frozen siege. Freezing blood. Searing pitch.
Grid morph.
Searing pitch.
Okay,
Freezing
side.
blast.
Range dodge.
Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Searing touch. Howling winds.
Freeze you where
Avalanche.
you stand.
Freezing blood. Searing pitch. Freezing blast.
Range
Range.
dodge.
Time warp.
Can you stack
Frozen
that?
siege.
That's terrible. Boat right.
Chilling touch. Freezing blast. Searing pitch.
The deck is rigged to explode. Charges set.
Searing pitch. Freezing blast.
I hope you don't
Searing
mind
pitch.
Avalanche.
cold.
Searing pitch. Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you stand.
Get out, then in
Searing
fire.
pitch. Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Frozen siege. Freezing blood.
Let's move left.
Freezing blood. Howling winds. Freezing blast. Freezing blood. Chilling touch.
Don't mind cold.
Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Blast.
Range dodge.
Frozen siege.
Okay, let's wipe.
Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you stand.
Freezing blast.
Beware. Beware of me.
Let's see some better stacking on blue this time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
For the Alliance!
Frozen Siege.
Got the ballista.
Freezing Blast.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Freezing Blast.
On the starboard side.
Boat right.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blood.
The deck is rigged to explode!
One, we can move left.
Don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Freezing Blood. Searing Pitch. Searing Pitch. Ring of Howling Winds.
Where you stand.
Get out then and fire.
Chilling Touch. Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast. Time Warp.
Cold Terran colors off our port
Boat
side.
left.
Freezing Blast. Chilling Touch.
I hope you don't mind the
Avalanche.
cold. The tide moves against you.
Get him up.
Searing Pitch. Freezing Blood.
They are so
Frozen Siege.
left but ash and splinters.
I
Ring
will
of Ice.
freeze you where you
Get out then
stand.
and fire.
Searing Pitch. Howling Winds.
On the
Boat
starboard
right.
side.
Freezing Blast. Frozen Siege.
I will freeze you where
Avalanche.
you stand.
Break that ballista.
Freezing Blast.
Range dodge.
Chilling Touch. Searing Pitch.
Which is 62. Make sure your stacks are clear. Be ready to stack on green.
Chilling Touch.
Hard vessels.
Freezing
Avalanche.
Blood.
Rise up. You have nowhere left to run.
And move together. So speed
Really
boost up
think
ahead.
I've been running, Captain?
1 and 3 left, 2 and 4 right.
Impossible.
I lured you into open waters because out here you have no hope of escape.
Chilling Touch. Free Chilling Touch. Icebound Image.
Dodge better.
Yeah, we need dodging to happen.
Icebound
As soon as
Image.
we start getting people ice blocked, then everyone gets ice blocked.
Yep. We got like 3 people ice blocked and then we were all fucked.
Yeah.
The graphic settings I told you about earlier are mainly for this phase, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
they seem
gonna
to
load
help.
mine a bit.
Beware. Beware.
Can you put just a sign on one of the odd groups? So, like Sangor going on the other side, and we have another sign on the other guy, of one of the other guys.
I can sit markers on tanks because that is generally useful.
So we have a reference just to stay together.
Yeah, I'll sit the markers on tanks. Generally, we start to go out left around the first one and then we split off. Yeah, it is pretty much the same movement pattern. You want to veer left first and then we split.
Yeah, I don't think our freezes weren't from splits. They were from people walking into orbs.
Yeah. Need to not have that happen. But practice. I know we've not done it on heroic in a while. It would be useful to get used to the dodging again. Yeah, if people get frozen, we'll stop and break you because we need to stay together. That means everyone stops. But it would be really helpful if you get frozen, yell on Discord. Then if someone's not paying attention, we all go back. Yeah, the intros have to happen, but don't rush to get them. We want to move together to get it done.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen Siege.
I hope you don't
Avalanche.
Freezing Blast.
Range dodge.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
Only one more on right. Avalanche. Afterwards, we'll go left.
Ring of Ice.
Get out within fire.
Howling Winds. Chilling Touch. Frozen Siege. Chilling Touch. Freezing Blood. Pitch.
Go blast.
Time Warp. Chilling Touch. Freezing Blast. Searing Pitch. Searing
Get that
Pitch.
frozen ballista sorted.
Set Charge. Searing Pitch.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
The tide moves against
Scammer, if you look to the left, you see a panel.
Too many dead. Wipe
Frozen
it.
Siege. Freezing Blast. Searing Pitch. Searing Pitch. Freezing Blast.
Beware of me.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The tide rises.
Frozen siege.
Stop the
Freezing
ballista.
blast.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Freezing blast.
Range dodge. Boat left.
Frozen siege. Freezing blood. Freezing blast. Set charge.
Someone get the bomb.
Searing pitch. Blood.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Freezing searing pitch. Freezing blood. Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Ring of ice.
Get out, pinning fire.
Frozen siege. Chilling touch.
We'll switch
Time
sides.
warp.
Get rid of the ballista.
Freezing blast.
Use the res.
Chilling touch. Freezing blast. Searing pitch. Searing pitch.
I hope you don't mind the cold. You will be washed away.
Freezing blood. Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
I don't think the bombardment is targeting people because they're like full outside where nobody.
They don't
Ring
100%
of
target,
ice.
but it's one of these ones that tends towards where people are, so you can kind of bait them.
And they target it targets like the so
Yeah.
it'll then be
It's
where
not like
someone
Sea
was.
Swell,
No.
where you stand there and it'll be perfectly where you were, but it will, if everyone stands on the left, they'll go to the left.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, you could work out if it was exactly where they when it goes into the queue, if you used a timer, and then took note of where everyone was stood.
But I
Pretty
don't
sure that's
suggest that we can stand to the side to bait it away from where the ballistas are. Said that several pulls ago. That Sangor is in charge of sorting out that movement. Yeah, with the standing in the fire, when you have avalanche, you can run on the edge of it, and you run in it if you need it because your counter's going to run down. And then when we have the ring of ice, in the last second, stand in the fire. Don't stand in it for 3 seconds. There should be some in the guild bank, I think, Maggot. If not, I've got some somewhere. Great.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen siege.
Boat left. Avalanche.
Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Chilling touch. Set charge. Freezing blood. Freezing blast. Searing freezing blood. Frozen siege.
Boat dealt with. Let's go to the other side.
I will freeze you
Avalanche.
where you stand.
Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Howling winds. Chilling touch. Frozen siege.
Boat right.
Freezing blast.
Ballista.
Ballista.
Time warp. Chilling touch.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold. The tide moves against you.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
They are soaked. Nothing left but ash and splinters.
Let's move to the other side again.
Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Chilling touch. Freezing blast.
Use that res.
Frozen siege.
Enemy vessel up on port side.
Boat left.
Howling winds.
I will freeze you where you
Avalanche.
stand.
Freezing
Don't
blood.
stick with the club. You can see you all over the place.
Freezing blast winds.
Range dodge.
Set charge. Chilling touch.
The tide moves against you.
Frozen siege.
64%.
Freezing
Make sure your
blast.
stacks get cleared.
Searing of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Chilling touch. Freezing blood. Searing pitch.
I hope
Your lead's white,
Set
so
charge.
dead.
Freezing
Almost
blood.
a
You will
transition.
be washed away.
Searing pitch. Frozen siege.
On the starboard
Freezing
side.
blast.
Right, it is break time. I'll start a timer. We'll get back to it in 10 minutes.
Boozy.
Yes, 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 yes.
You didn't even fucking take one, so how the fuck should I know that?
Oh, I don't know what
Go
you're
take
talking
the
about.
test, Boozy.
I was just thinking you're just randomly appointing animals to.
No? Why would I pick Sango to be a dolphin then? Like, come on.
Surely
Because
he's
I don't
probably
know. It
possum
makes
because he's
strange
dead half the
noises.
time.
Where do I find that test?
It's the Maya Briggs one. Just Google it.
It's actually quite good that I'm a dolphin since I'm Pisces, and according to Greek mythology, it was a dolphin put in the sky.
But Boozy, you'll probably turn out to be a possum because of the whole playing dead thing. Although I don't think that's in the test.
Or a lemming. Maybe a
Or a
lemming.
lemming, maybe a lemming. One of the two.
It's actually wrong that lemmings go suicidal.
Yeah, because they don't kill themselves. They survive. They land in water.
bit random is gone. Jaina is always in position 4 from the left. That was the hotfix a while ago. So it used to be like that, now it's 10 and 10. So what I would like to sort out now is the range stack. So you should be stacked on Sango, who's got the blue marker, unless you have to move out, for example, for Avalanche or to do the ballistas. Noticing sometimes the stack is absolutely awful. If it's because he's in a place where you can't reach, tell him, get him to sort it. If it's not a problem, then I don't want to see people spreading all over the place. Right, let's get back to this.
That sounds very gay, Seth.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen Siege.
Got the ballista.
Freezing Blast.
Try Tomp Bagger, you're frozen. Avalanche. Boat right.
Chilling Touch.
Big mouth, guys.
Use the res.
Freezing Blast.
Use the res, please.
Frozen Siege. Set Charge. Freezing Blast.
Okay, let's just wipe.
Ring of Ice. Howling Winds.
Can we,
Frozen Siege.
if we're using the sliver, be a bit more cautious or just not use it at all? For learning experience, ideally, don't make it harder on yourself.
Oh, you need to be stacked. Whether you're using the sliver or not, be on the clump.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
and
going to be stacked all phase 3 anyways.
Yep. And a good bit of phase 2, and a good bit of the intermission.
Yeah, if you do not have another trinket other than it, then just accept you're just getting the int part of it. Don't force anything. Again, we're learning this fine. Don't make it harder on yourself.
Trouble loop.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Freezing blast.
Boat left.
I will freeze you where you
Avalanche.
stand.
Frozen
Side.
siege.
Other left.
Not left. Yeah, other left.
Freezing blast.
Get that ballista quick.
Freezing blood. Chilling touch. Freezing blast.
Okay, let's go to the other side.
Freezing blood.
Ash and splinters.
Frozen siege. Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you stand.
Get out, then into fire. We'll need to break that ballista.
Searing pitch. Howling winds.
Freeze you where you
Avalanche.
stand.
Searing freezing
pitch.
blood. Freezing blast.
Cool Tyrants on the starboard side.
Boat right.
Time warp. Frozen siege. Chilling touch. Freezing blast.
Bombs are in place!
Set charge.
Okay, boat's gone. Let's switch sides.
Freezing blast. Searing pitch. Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Searing pitch.
You don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Searing pitch. Freezing
Yeah,
blast. Freezing blood.
Range dodge.
Freezing blood. Frozen searing pitch.
Enemy vessel up aboard.
Boat left.
Howling winds.
Give them a taste of our cannons.
Freezing blood. Freezing blast. Chilling touch. Searing pitch. Charge. Frozen siege.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
A fine shot. Their vessel is bound.
Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Chilling touch. Searing pitch. Searing pitch.
Boat's gone. Let's switch sides.
It's about to be done.
Oh, perfect. Get to the stack point.
You have nowhere left to run. Ice witch.
You really think I've been
Oh, that
running,
came faster than
Captain?
I
Split up. Right, stick together.
Possible.
I lured you into
remember your
open waters
directions.
because
Do
out
I run
here,
with maggot to the
you
right?
have no hope of escape.
If you're assigned to that side, then yeah. I don't know where you're assigned.
Oh, I muted myself, sorry.
Chilling touch. Freezing blood. Icebound image.
Ice block.
Icebound image. Freezing blood.
So we have many ice blocks.
Freezing blood. Freezing blood. Freezing touch.
Yeah, once we start getting ice blocks, it just deteriorates.
Yeah, as soon as you get ice block, yell and we stop and we deal with it. But also move together so we don't get people ice blocked.
Of me.
But it did feel like we were faster, so that was good. Let's see if we can speed it up a bit. We want like 3 minutes if we can to minimize the amount of mechanics you have to survive.
Don't think that was actually far off, Steamans. Anyone has an idea about how long it was?
You're like 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay, that's not bad then.
Maybe even less.
Just repair bolt that.
Okay, everyone repair them. Yeah, we're just sorting some assignments.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen Siege.
Drop the Ballista.
Freezing
Go
Blast.
left. Get it broken. Avalanche. Upper left base.
It moved to you.
Okay.
Set charge. Freezing Blast. Set charge. Frozen Siege. Searing Pitch. Freezing Blood. Searing Pitch. Searing Pitch. Freezing Blast.
Avalanche.
Searing Pitch. Howling Wind. Ring of Ice.
Get out there and fire.
Chilling Touch. Frozen Siege. Searing Pitch. Freezing Blast.
Right.
Chilling
Searing
Touch.
Dodge.
Quick on the ballista.
Searing Pitch.
Good.
Searing Time Warp. Freezing Blast. Set charge.
You've got
hope you
res.
don't mind the cold.
Avalanche.
The tide moves against
Just wipe
you.
it.
Freezing Siege. Freezing Blast. Searing Pitch. Ring of Ice.
Freeze you where you stand. Beware of me.
When we get to the ads, we want to position ourselves between the first and second one, right?
Yeah, there's kind of a safe spot around there.
Cool.
But it's mostly a case of we need to clump and we need to not get hit by stuff and we need to get the ads down.
Yeah, I think what happened the two times ago, we split into two groups. Somebody went for the second ad, and yeah.
Well, we stick. We've got marked players. Stay on the marked players, please. If they go wrong, you can blame me and base, but we'll hopefully
5,
keep you in the right direction.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen Siege.
Dot ballista.
Freezing Blast.
Boat left.
I hope you don't mind
Avalanche.
the cold.
Freezing Blast. Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
Boat down. Let's switch sides.
Ring of Ice.
Get out. Then in fire.
Howling Wind. Chilling Touch. Searing Pitch.
You don't mind the cold.
Chilling Touch. Searing Pitch. Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast. Chilling Touch. Time War. Chilling Touch. Freezing Blast.
Use the res.
Sweet -5.
But we can clear it if you call.
Nothing left but ash and splinters.
Frozen Siege. Chilling Touch. Freezing Blast.
Range dodge.
Ring of Ice.
Get out. Then in fire.
Searing Pitch. Searing Pitch.
Avalanche.
Searing Pitch. Freezing Blast.
Range dodge.
Freezing Blood. Frozen Siege.
Boat left. Get to the list.
Howling Winds. Freezing blast. Set charge.
I will freeze
Okay,
you
that's
where you
white.
stand.
Chilling touch.
A fine shot. Their vessel is bound for the
Freezing blast. Ring of ice. Chilling touch. Frozen siege.
Beware, beware of me.
So remember, with Avalanche, you can move with the bar. It tells you when to move. You get a bit of early time, but you need to actually move out at the right time. If you use that weak aura, it should help. We can theoretically do that Yumu, but it doesn't necessarily need to be done. But if you've got people with an immunity who are happy to do it, then please feel free to assign them. I would rather move as a clump and then get them, because it's meant to be a safer strategy. But feel free to assign some.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The sea answers my call.
Freezing blast.
Enemy vessel off the
Boat right.
side. Man the guns.
Frozen siege.
I will freeze you where
Avalanche,
you
get
stand.
that siege quick.
Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
The deck is rigged to explode. The deck is rigged to explode.
Freezing blood. Freezing blast. Frozen siege.
A fine shot. Their vessel is bound for the deep.
Freezing blast.
Let's switch sides.
Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you stand.
Get out. Then fire.
Howling wind. Pitch. Chilling touch.
Don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Howling winds. Freezing blast.
Range dodge. Move with
Frozen
me and try to
siege.
move up.
Enemy vessel off our port.
Boat
Time
left.
wars.
Give them a taste of Arcana.
Get that blister down.
Chilling touch. Searing pitch.
The tide moves against you.
Freezing blast.
Realistic right.
Searing pitch. Set charge. Set charge. Searing pitch. Chilling touch. Frozen siege. Mark target. Searing pitch.
Yeah, that ray is sometimes going to be through range. Please check which direction she's facing. We're calling it, but if you're waiting for the call, you're going to have to react instantly. I would say that we are feeling a bit slow on them. Sometimes it seems to take forever to get the last one.
Also, don't use the ballista before the ship is still. Well, the first one fired before the ship. Still.
Yeah, you can tell if the ship is active by using the boss health bars on the right of your screen. As soon as it's there, you can hit it.
There is a sound also, thundering sound in the back.
So the ice should just be everyone who has dots, stick dots on them, and it'll all be down in time. I don't think those are generally an issue. But the three of you doing the ballistas, you will have the weak aura to help you with the timing, right?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The tide rises.
Frozen siege.
Got the ballista.
Enemy vessels. hot off
Freezing
the
blast.
Give them a taste of our cannons. I hope you don't mind
Avalanche.
cold.
Freezing blast. Chilling touch. Frozen siege.
Okay, ship's gone. Let's switch sides.
Nothing left. Ash and splinter.
Break
Freezing
those ice
blast.
blocks.
Follow the blue marker.
Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Howling winds. Frozen siege.
Boat right.
Freezing
Avalanche.
blood. Chilling touch. Freezing blast.
You move with me so I can move that.
Time warp. Freezing blast. Set charge. Searing pitch. Frozen siege. Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Freezing blast.
I will freeze you where
Avalanche.
you stand.
Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Searing pitch. Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Boat left.
Don't fire it too
Howling
fast.
winds.
Again, wait for the
Freezing
Now.
blood.
bar.
Chilling touch. Searing freezing blood.
Get me up. Avalanche.
Chilling touch.
64.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Speak to 2, clear
Yep,
stack.
here is axe.
Ring of ice.
Out. Oh, there we go. Plump on green. Ready to move together.
You really think I've been running,
Don't
Captain?
run off.
Impossible!
I lured you into open waters because out here, you have no hope of escape.
Icebound image. Icebound image.
Break squibs and shum out. Yeah, we lost too many people.
Beware, beware of me.
Yeah, the bombard is slightly larger than the circle. Theoretically, we can get away with losing. It's 5 people we need to have front, so it's not a disaster if 2 get frozen. But the idea is we all stick together. But it will take longer if we just go 1 by 1, and it's probably not going to be good in the long run. But as long as we move together and dodge, we should be able to get through it without having anyone frozen. And then the intermission ads just melt pretty fast, so it's not like we have that. Yeah, well, priority is. How about you do a immune run ahead and interrupt Jaina, or assign someone else to, and then if that deals with the worst of it. But I don't think you'll be able to interrupt her until the ads are dead. Because the mechanic is we have to kill all the ads before Jaina can be interrupted. 5 people together. Okay, that sounds good, Ayumu. If you want to stick any others in, just stick them in the AA. Everyone else, bear in mind, if we've got a couple of people running ahead to do interrupts, it means the rest of you, it's even more important you stick together. Yeah, I think it's only interrupts. Look,
5,
Rogue's can avoid getting
4,
frozen. Anyone
3,
else, if you're about
2,
to freeze,
1.
just don't be away from the group if you haven't been assigned to be.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Bam!
Avalanche, vote right.
Freezing blast. Freezing blood. Frozen siege. Freezing blood. Chilling touch. Searing pitch. Freezing blood. Freezing blast. Pitch.
Range dodge.
I'll move to where they cut.
Ring of ice.
Out, then end of fire. We'll switch sides when we move back.
Searing pitch. Time warp.
Avalanche.
Freezing blood.
Swap sides after this.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Bam!
Boat left. Get that ballista out.
Snitch killing me, right?
I just had
Freezing
to yell left
blast.
at me.
Boom.
Chilling
Still on me.
touch.
15 seconds.
Set charge. Frozen siege. Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Get out, then end of fire.
Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Searing pitch.
It's probably
Searing pitch. Freezing blast. Freezing blood.
Yeah, we have a load of ice blocks. Just wipe.
Bam!
Howling wind siege. Chilling touch. Howling winds. Freezing blast.
Of me.
Right, please make sure you're firing at the right time with the ballistas. You need to wait for the boat to actually appear. I think the first ones are going off a bit soon in some cases.
I call it when to fire.
It shouldn't be needed. I'd rather people use the weak aura so we can minimize the number of calls, because I don't want that distracting from something more important. Okay, also, if you're not assigned, don't touch them. Apparently some people are helping and doing it early and causing a problem. Right, use the repair bot.
what repair bot?
It's at the back where it always is. Well, no, we're not. We should be moving in so you've got range to Jaina. If you have a problem with the distance, talk to Sangor and he can sort out the positioning.
Keep in mind that when the things fly in, I will go out and stun them, so that's not your cue to move with me. That's your cue to use brain. Thing is, the only ones who are not gonna move at all, I think, are gonna be the mages.
They're not good.
Okay, Rankin. Congrats, you've just been promoted.
Woohoo! Just don't freak out when I blink around, because I do that fairly a lot.
Yeah, that was actually one of the reasons why I hadn't given it to one of you yet.
But don't, I blink back again, no worries.
Squips.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The tide rises.
Frozen siege.
Got the ballista.
Bam!
Freezing blast.
Left. Avalanche.
Freezing blast. Set charge. Searing pitch. Frozen siege. Searing pitch. Freezing blood. Searing pitch. Freezing blood. Freezing blast.
I will freeze
Avalanche.
you where you stand.
Howling winds. Ring of ice.
Freeze you where you stand.
Get out within fire.
Chilling touch. Frozen siege.
Bam!
Time war.
Right.
The tide moves against you.
Freezing blast.
Use that res.
Chilling touch. Freezing blast.
Avalanche.
Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Freezing blood. Frozen siege. Ring of ice.
Get out. Then in fire. Okay, we'll dispel.
Freezing blood. Freezing blast. Howling winds.
Bam!
Chilling touch.
Vote left.
Frozen siege.
Get that ballista.
I will freeze you where
Avalanche.
you stand.
Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Searing touch. Searing pitch. Set charge.
Okay, 65. We're getting there.
Searing pitch.
Make
Ring
sure you
of
close
ice.
that. Get out. Then in fire.
Searing pitch. Frozen searing
siege.
pitch.
Okay, almost transitioning.
Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Freezing
and
blood.
plump on green.
You have nowhere left to run. Ice witch.
You really think I've been running, Captain?
There's everyone here and left. Good.
Right, 1 and 3 left, 2 and 4 right. If you're assigned to immunity, go ahead with your
I
immunity.
lured you into open waters because out here you have no hope of escape.
Chilling touch. Icebound image.
Left side, move to next, break Wadu, get the next image down.
Icebound image.
Break the ice blocks before we move.
Freezing blood.
Let's do that one also, yeah.
Yeah, that's my fault.
Beware of me.
For the group going left, can we not have anyone go for the second dead? I'm going to see if I can reach it with my pet as soon as I have a visual. So don't rush off. If you interrupt their contest, then you'll likely get.
Yeah, the only people who should be moving ahead are the people who are assigned to do an immunity run and interrupt.
That's a good point, Yuma. I think I saw something about it in the vid. Also, the further you are away from the ballista, the longer it'll take the mob to get to it.
Yeah, I saw somebody else take the back one a few times, so I was there for nothing.
Yeah, please don't help out. We've got people assigned. The rest of you, you're meant to stay alive and handle the other mechanics. But otherwise, we've got too many people on it, and it's a waste of DPS and it causes confusion with timings.
Is that we're taking a bit longer than we actually should?
Yeah, they do. Make sure when the ship's coming in, you're there ready to click. Don't click it until the ship's actually in range, but then do it ASAP.
You shouldn't go there, Ayumu. You're not assigned.
No, he's just saying he can do it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they can't just stand there and wait for 5 seconds or they get frozen.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen siege.
Got the ballista.
Bam!
So
Freezing blast.
Avalanche.
Set charge. Freezing blast. Searing pitch. Freezing blood. Frozen siege. Searing pitch. Freezing blood. Freezing blood. Freezing blast.
Let's swap sides.
Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire. We're going to have avalanche after.
Searing pitch. Frozen
Searing
siege.
pitch. Avalanche.
Searing pitch.
But are they out shield?
Time warp.
The tide moves against you.
Yeah, don't do that.
Freezing blast. Chilling touch. Frozen siege. Freezing blast. Searing pitch.
I'm on previous totem
I hope you don't mind.
Don't worry like that.
No, it doesn't work. You have to have it when he dies. Avalanche.
Imagine leaping away
Ring
from
of
our
ice.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever done.
Get out. Then wipe it.
Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Frozen
But
freezing
we
blood.
can use it at a time in phase 1 where
Searing
we're likely to lose people because it'll be back
Chilling
in plenty of
touch.
time for phase 3. I know Wadu was using his last raid.
Of me.
Well, I mean, that's part of the reason why we bring a shaman, for you to use that, amongst other things, so please be ready to do.
It's not really a thing you're likely to be able to call.
Yeah, it'd be very fluky to be able to res mob. It'd be very good.
You can see someone's about to die, just drop it there. Well, it's the same thing with like my warrior shout. Use your brain.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
I will freeze you
Avalanche.
stand.
Freezing Blast.
Bam!
Boat right. Remember the ballistas at the right time.
Active.
Freezing Blood. Freezing Blast. Frozen Siege. Searing Pitch.
Oh, found. Fantastic.
Searing Pitch.
Nothing left but ash and
Freezing Blast.
Pushing sides.
Ring of Searing Pitch.
Get out, then in fire.
Searing Pitch. Searing Pitch.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Freezing Blast.
Range dodge.
Time Warp.
Stack on blue.
Frozen Siege.
Move with me.
Bam!
Move boss. Boat left. Get that ballista quick.
Freezing Blast. Searing Pitch.
Break that ice block.
Freezing Blast. Ring of Ice. Freezing
Get out,
Blood.
then in fire.
Searing Pitch. Frozen Searing Pitch.
That was a bomb going off, I think.
Searing Pitch. Freezing Blood.
We had those
Freezing Blast.
Okay, that'll do.
Yeah, the ship
White
was still
Howling
there.
Winds. Freezing Blood. Bam! Freezing Blood. Chilling Pitch. Freezing blood. Freezing blast.
Yeah, we are looking at what we can do to change the ballistas
Frozen
because
siege.
it is too slow. Despite the fact we've got 3 people on it and 1 to 2 people are able to do it.
Only 2 doing it at the moment.
Okay. So currently we have Sunti at the back, Twy in the middle, and Armin at the front. We may change that just to see if we can get it working better. But if you're assigned, you absolutely need to make sure it happens. It's more important than your DPS or your healing. You need to get there, use it, and make sure you get back in the clump so you don't get frozen, and then make sure you're able to use it a second time. Well, I can't tell who is failing at it from where I am, so... Okay, Ayumu, you can do them alone. Fantastic, thank you. See if it can be done. If it can't, then I bet you can do it with 1 person handling the back.
Well, a lot of times I do 4, so...
If you end up doing something like that, speak up, because then we can tell there's a problem and we can sort for it and sort it out. Whereas if we think, okay, people are doing their assignments but it's just not working quite right, we want to try and get them to the assignments.
But
If
to
you
do
see a
it-
problem, please speak up and tell us.
Something to do it safely, and since you only need to fire 5 times, you should be the only one who only has to shoot once. Ammon should be shooting twice, as should twice.
Yeah, I just want to get them fired, that's all.
Let's see if Ayumu is fast enough to do them all.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The sea answers my call.
Frozen siege.
Got the ballista.
Bam!
Goes
Freezing
right.
blast.
I hope you don't
Avalanche.
cold.
Freezing blast. Frozen siege.
Okay, it's down. Let's swap sides.
Freezing blast.
Use the res.
Chilling touch.
Avalanche.
Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Searing pitch. Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Freezing blood. Ring of ice.
Get out. Then in fire. We'll break the disaster as well.
Freezing blood.
Bloodlust.
Cancel.
Chilling touch.
She's already in the block.
Yeah. Okay, we can stand around for a bit and deal with the boats. Boats
Frozen
are left.
siege.
Okay, she's out. It's
Freezing
okay.
blast.
Charge is set.
Set charge. Time warp.
Avalanche.
Mark target. Chilling touch. Freezing blast.
Range dodge. Okay, now let's wipe too many dead. The ballistas felt quicker with just the Yumu doing them, so let's
Frozen
do that for
siege.
now.
Freezing blast. Set charge.
Really?
Ring of ice.
Oh my god.
Also bad picking up a barrel and then getting avalanche on you.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a sure way to die.
But ideally, range should be getting it right. However, given it's quicker with a Yumu doing it than having 3 ranged, It does mean we lose less DPS and we have less bombards.
Ghost Wolf should help. Disruptive, isn't it? In this retrospect.
Do we have a repair robot?
There was one up last pull, I thought. Yeah, I have said several times tonight about the ballistas being the priority. That's your assignment. You do your assignment. You don't worry about anything else at that point, because if you don't get it right, then everyone else suffers.
And just for the range stack, when the bombards come in, there are 2 sets of them, so I don't move until I see the second set of bombards hitting them. I see people jumping all around.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Frozen Siege. Freezing Blast.
Bam! Both right. The ballista down. Avalanche.
Yeah, so it was good.
Stuck on blue.
Use that
Freezing Blast.
Blast.
Range dodge.
Chilling Touch. Set Charge. Frozen Siege.
Switch over sides.
Freezing Blast.
Of course.
Ice blocks.
Yeah, switch to those.
Ring of Ice. Searing Pitch.
Get out, then fire. Yeah, I've got it now.
Searing
Howling
Pitch.
Winds.
Frozen Siege.
Boat left. Avalanche. I'll take it back afterwards.
Freezing Blast. Chilling Touch. Time Warp. Freezing Blast. Frozen Siege. Ring of Ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Searing Pitch. Freezing
Okay,
Blood.
as soon as I'm clear.
I hope you don't mind the cold.
Chilling
Avalanche.
Touch. Freezing Blood. Freezing Blast.
Range dodge.
Freezing Blood. Searing Pitch.
Break some ice blocks.
Freezing Blood.
Bam! Boat right.
Frozen Siege.
Get that siege.
Howling
out.
Winds.
We'll move her over.
Howling Winds. Freezing Blast. Chilling Touch. Pitch. Chilling Touch. Frozen Siege.
I will freeze you
Avalanche.
where you stand.
Ring of ice. Searing pitch.
Get out, living fire.
Searing pitch. Searing pitch.
Bam!
Yep, clear your stacks.
Freezing
Both
blast.
Right.
Searing pitch.
Here we go, stack on green. If you're not assigned to run ahead with an immunity, stay together.
You think I've been running, Captain?
Impossible!
I lured you into open
Go left
waters
and right.
because out here you have no hope of escape.
Freezing blood.
Big Walu's still alive, great.
Chilling touch. Icebound image. Icebound
Stick
image.
together. Keep dodging though. There's the ball going through us.
Icebound image.
Dodging, break the
Three
ice
and
block.
first.
Chilling touch.
Out, keep going, keep dodging. We need to be quick before we get frozen.
Chilling
We're
touch.
almost there. Cleave the ice block.
Icebound image.
Yeah, I think that's a wipe. But we got there with everyone alive. The pattern
Icebound
is
image.
fairly predictable, which is good. So as they called that time, we want to go left and then right around the first two, then we carry on ahead, and then we split into two sides. Oh, phase 2.
Yay!
Come on, Bobby.
Glacial ray.
Yeah, ranged interrupts are good. However, boomkins, please don't interrupt, because I've seen recommendations that boomkins interrupting
I will
causes issues.
freeze you where you stand.
Sangor's pet definitely worked. I saw that interrupt.
Can we
So-
get a what's it called? Speed totem at the beginning.
Yeah.
Might be slightly dangerous. People who are gonna get in first are gonna take distance. I'm not sure if it's good. But we can try. Just
Honestly, the
it's an
interrupts
AoE
are free for all. But we can put in specific ones to make that easier, so you're not interrupting all the same thing. But essentially, if you can interrupt. The sooner we get them done, the better. But Wadu's doing an immunity. The idea is the quicker we get all of them interrupted, the easier it gets. And then we move together as a group to kill them, but the interrupts happen initially. So I'm guessing you'd like Wadu to do the third from the left?
Yeah, no. I went left. Yeah, thanks for.
There's a
that.
repair
Thanks
bot
for
somewhere.
that.
It's right at the back if you need to repair.
Walu was on my side, wasn't he?
Yeah, AA says 1 and 3 go left. So that's if you're in groups 1 and 3, you go to the left. If you're in groups 2 and 4, you go to the right. So team left is with me, which is the cross.
Yeah, and I went right.
Yeah,
I went
yeah.
with baseless. I went
Yeah,
with
you,
baseless.
you were on my side. That's why I was confused.
Yes, god damn it. Let's just fucking talk some more about it. Should we get another pull or what?
Yeah, let's pull again.
Like, what the fuck? Fuck
No,
off.
I was confused. I don't know what's going on.
It won't matter if a couple of people go to the wrong side. Like 12 and 8 is a
No, but
viable
I know, let's just get over it. God damn it, fuck off.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The tide rises.
Frozen siege.
Stop the ballista.
I will freeze you where you
Avalanche.
stand.
Yeah, sorry.
Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Bam!
Boat left.
Get in the compass.
Frozen
We don't need to
siege.
be out.
Freezing blast.
Are you doing ballistas, so no range should be out?
Stack on blue.
I will freeze
Avalanche.
you where you stand. To be shot now.
After, we'll switch sides.
Freezing blood. Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Howling winds.
No
We'll
fire.
need dispels.
Frozen siege.
Break the blocks.
Freezing blast.
Move boss away once they're broken. Break Twy out. Twy, don't be at the back.
Bam!
Freezing blast.
Boat right.
Chilling
Time
touch.
warp.
I will freeze you where
Avalanche.
you stand. The tide moves against you.
Get
Freezing blast.
Charge is set.
Set
Frozen
charge.
siege.
They belong to the shots now.
Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Searing pitch.
You will be washed away.
Freezing blast.
Let's do it
Howling
again.
winds. Freezing blood. Frozen siege.
Bam!
Howling winds. Chilling touch.
We have a few frequent offenders on moving out of the campus, generally being shit at stacking and getting back. It is imperative that we are close together. Get it through your brains.
Okay, one more pull. Let's get some food. Let's res up. Yeah, you only need to run far enough to clear any fire and ballistas and to make sure you're not dropping it on the range clump. So get out in time, get back in time, watch the timer on the weak aura. It's really good. Yeah, leap's a good option too.
Maybe it was just me, but I actually stood in the fire in the ring and it removed mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine too.
Did that work?
Yeah, it worked.
Interesting. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure everyone who went in also got ice blocked. Well, a lot of them.
No, I didn't. I was in. I went in. I mean, it was the only real option. There wasn't any fire.
After that.
We only got 3 there. And then what if I get avalanche? It's like, fuck.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The sea answers my call.
Frozen siege.
Start the ballista.
Bam!
I will freeze you
Go left, avalanche.
Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast. Freezing blood.
Stack, guys. Twilight. Ammon.
Freezing blast. Ring of ice.
Get out, then in fire.
Searing pitch.
Volley out.
Should be an hour.
Searing pitch. Howling wind. Searing pitch. Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Range dodge.
I hope you don't mind.
Avalanche.
Cold.
Time warp.
Bam!
Boat right.
Freezing blast.
Use that res.
Frozen siege. Freezing blast.
Let's swap sides again.
Who is also doing mind
Ring
control
of
with me?
ice.
Well, I was
Get
trying
out,
to
then
my
in fire.
Spell space.
Free volley.
No,
You
no
don't
problem.
mind. the
Avalanche.
Freezing blast.
We got to see
let's
the
wipe
finishes of that.
Yeah, so next raid, the idea is work on
Frozen siege.
improving phase 1 some more,
Howling winds.
and then
moves against you.
hopefully we can get some more intermission time, and then we can optimize our movement.
Beware
But
of me.
yeah, if we can, when we had everyone alive to the intermission, we did manage to move together, and then we got iceboxed at the end, so we can work on that and improve. But thanks for raid, guys. If you've not
Cheers.
signed up for the next raid, please do so. I know a load of people have forgotten.
Good night.
Good night.
And which lower do you bargain with? I pray we chose our allies well.
Bye, guys.